Hello, my name's James Musselwhite, photographer here at Portrait of a Wrestler, and this is the first in a new series of videos that we're going to be producing. Video shorts just documenting the sort of editing and selection process that goes behind the images that we shoot here at Portrait of a Wrestler. We're going to start off with a ringside shot. This is the shot we're going to be sort of critiquing and curating today. A shot of Eddie Dennis from the Progress Wrestling Chapter 64, facing off against Progress co-owner Glenn Joseph. We're just going to have a look at the process we go through to getting to this image. At the show, I'd position myself opposite on the corner of one of the turnbuckles, just sort of slightly further back from the ring, but on the level of the top rope of that turnbuckle on the corner of the ring. And we're using a 1:400 lens, quite a long lens, to try and get a different take on the action in the ring, and also give us the flexibility to do sort of like nice close-up full lengths of people as they come through for their entrance, because I knew I was going to get like at least 8 entrances sort of coming through the curtain, so it gives us a little bit of flexibility. But we start off with the first image in this series with quite a poor choice of lens. I was sitting here sort of cursing my luck, sort of wishing that I had a slightly wider lens. Eddie had retired hurt at this point in the match. He'd taken a move off a Flash Morgan Webster, which had further damaged his pectoral muscle, and this is Glenn up here looking after sort of Eddie while he's receiving treatment from a paramedic, which is sort of his shadow down here. And my lens, I mean, I've got it as wide as I can at this point, 100 mil, but it's not wide enough to sort of capture the full scene, and certainly not get it in focus, unfortunately. So I had to sort of like move away from it at this point. At this point in the match, Eddie suddenly makes a miraculous recovery as he hears the countdown clock ticking down from 10 to the last entrance, which we know is his main adversary. The superstar that is Mark Andrews is about to make his entrance to the ring, and that's the guy that Eddie really wants to get his hands on. So seconds after this picture was taken, he makes a miraculous recovery and sort of clears the ring, and we see Eddie sort of standing in the ring there, fending off Pete Dunne, who doesn't want any part of Eddie Dennis, and Pete retires as the clock counts down. See some crowd reactions in the background there, which is pretty cool. Kid Lycos there. But the crowd are in on this storyline. They know what's going on. Pete's done the old big shrug shoulders thing and just sort of let Eddie get on with it. And Mark then makes his entrance. So we can swing our camera around at this point from here to here, extend the length, and even though the entrance of the ramp is further away than the ring from us, we can still get a nice close-up there of Mark as he makes his sullen entrance to the ring. Great facials here from Mark, not wanting to face his former tag team partner Eddie Dennis, who cannot wait to get his hands on Mark Andrews. Different on the entrance, the lights change slightly, so you'll occasionally get some interesting lighting effects like this. Eddie's in supreme shape at this moment before surgery. Bit of blue lighting on him there, and he's just winding himself up, getting ready to face. Mark makes a very slow walk to the ring. Difficult to maintain exposure at this point. The two areas hit from here to here, from the ringside, backlit at the ring, backlit on the entrance, and then fully lit on the ringside. So I'm always working on manual focus, mainly changing maybe shutter speeds at this point, not to get any slower than 200th of a second. I still want to freeze action. Nice close shot here of Mark with all the fans behind him. But no interaction as yet. Eddie's getting himself pumped, ready to go. So we're swinging from one side to the other just to try and get these different reactions. Paz in shot here. Damn Paz. And then at this point, I'm not quite wide enough again. I held this framing here because I thought we were going to get a face-off here between Eddie and Mark. But what's actually happened here, you can see the hands come up through the tights. And this is TK Cooper. Rolling up Eddie. No good this shot, can't use it. Turnbuckle's in the way, which is a shame. And then we get the reaction from Eddie here as the fact that he's been eliminated from the Thunder Bastard and he can't get his hands on Mark Andrews. He's run round the side of the ring here to come back to the entrance side. Andrews has gone the other way to try and get involved. And there's referee Chris Roberts there trying to calm Eddie and tell him that he's been eliminated. And then the reactions start happening. Eddie starts moving backwards. Ring crew and everyone there just trying to get him away from Mark Andrews. Everyone involved, and he starts moving backwards. Glenn starting to get in Eddie's face, and we start getting these moments, and then eventually we get to this point where we're zoomed right in nice and close, around about maybe 250 mil here, nice and close on the face off there between Eddie and Glenn. As soon as we go further away, we start getting more and more sort of movement, I suppose, and we're not quite getting those moments. Chris Roberts in front of Glenn there, not creating a great shot. These are great shots, but they're not telling a story. These shots here of him being sort of dragged away down the rampway, and then eventually onto the rampway, and Paul Robinson there trying to drag Eddie off, and eventually he makes his way to the back. But it's this shot here where we can actually see we've got a full face profile here of Eddie, a full face profile of Glenn. All of the heads and the hands and the attention is on them. And the framing just slightly off center, just slightly off to the right here, the composition just working well there. So around about a sequence of between 25 to 30 shots there at ringside to get to this one moment, looking to tell stories, looking to encapsulate the feeling of essentially what the Thunder Bastard in this occasion was sort of built around. Various storylines coming into it, but certainly for me the most compelling was Eddie's storyline, the way that he got himself into the match, the reasons why he wanted to be in the match, and then this elimination from the match, which meant that the carrot of Eddie finally getting his hands on Mark Andrews and seeing how Mark would react to that being dangled and then taken away as Eddie's eliminated, and these are his frustrations. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope to do a few more of these in future, and as ever, all the very best.